بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلي وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى أهله وصحبه أجمعين ما بعد. We continue reading the Tafseer of Sa'di bin Abdurrahman bin Nasir al-Sa'di, Surah Al Ghaafir. أي نعم أيوة. لخلق السماوات والأرض أكبر من خلق الناس ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون وما يستوي الأعمى والبصير والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات ولا المسيء قليلا ما تذكرون إن الساعة لآتية لا ريب فيها ولكن أكثر الناس لا يؤمنون. The creation of the heavens and the earth is a greater matter than the creation of humankind, but most people do not know. The blind and the seeing are not alike, nor are those who believe and do righteous deeds and those who do evil. Little is it that you pay heed. Verily the hour is coming, there can be no doubt about it, but most people do not believe. Here Allah tells us of what is established in people's minds, which is that the creation of the heavens and the earth, despite their greatness and vastness, is greater and more significant than the creation of people, and that people, in comparison to the creation of the heavens and the earth, are as insignificant as can be. Therefore, it is more appropriate that the one who created the mighty heaven bodies in such a priceless manner should be able to recreate people after their death. This is one of the rational proofs that definitely point to the resurrection. Once the wise man looks at their heavenly bodies, he will reach a certain conclusion beyond any doubt that what the messengers said about the resurrection is true. But not everyone pays attention to that or reflects upon it. Hence Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, but most people do not know, and therefore they do not learn from what or give any thought to it. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the blind and the seeing are not alike, nor are those who believe and do righteous deeds and those who do evil. That is just as the blind and the seeing are not alike, so too the one who believes in Allah and does righteous deeds, and the one who is too arrogant to worship his Lord and disobeys him, and is striving in doing that which on cast is right, are not alike. Literal is that you pay heed. That way, if you doubt of the differences between things and different levels of good and evil, and the difference between the righteous and the evildoers, and you had ambitious, then you will have given precedence to that which is beneficial over that which is harmful, to guidance over misguidance, and eternal happiness over this transient world. But the hour is coming, there can be no doubt about it. The messengers who are the most truthful humankind spoke of it, and divinely revealed books which are of the highest level of truth also spoke of it. Moreover, there is a visible proof for it and signs thereof in the universe, but most do not believe. Despite these things that should lead to a perfect level of faith and submission, وقال ربكم الأدوني أستجيب لكم إن الذين استكبروا عبادتي سيدخلون جهنم داخرين. Your Lord says, call upon me, I will answer your prayer. Very those who are too arrogant to worship me will enter hell in humiliation. By his kindness toward his slaves and the human blessings he bestows upon them, Allah called them to that which is in their best interest in both spiritual and worldly terms, and instructed them to call upon him, meaning both the supplication of worship and the supplication of asking for what they need. He promised to respond to them, and he warned them against being too arrogant to do that. Very those who are too arrogant to worship me and will enter hellfire, will enter hell in humiliation. That is, they will be humiliated and despair, suffering a combination of punishment and humiliation as a requital for their arrogance. والله الذي جعل لكم الأرض لكم ليلة لتسكنوا فيه والنهار مبصرا إن الله لذو فضل على الناس ولكن أكثر الناس لا يشكرون. ذلكم الله ربكم خالق كل شيء ولا إله إلا هو فأنى توفكون. كذلك يؤفك الذين كانوا بآيات الله يجحدون. الله الذي جعل لكم الأرض غرا والسماء بناء وصوركم فأحسن صوركم ورزقكم من الطيبات ذلكم الله ربكم فتبارك الله رب العالمين والحي لا إله إلا هو فأدعوه مخلصا له الدين الحمد لله رب العالمين. Allah who has made the night for you to rest in, and the day for you to see. But Allah is most gracious to humankind. Most people do not give thanks. Such is Allah your Lord, the creator of all things. There is no God but He. So how could you be turned away from the truth? Thus are turned away those who deny the signs of Allah. It is Allah who has made the other stable place to live in, and the heavens and an edifice, and he has shaped you well, and has provided you with the good things. Such is Allah your Lord. So blessed be Allah, the Lord of the worlds. He is the ever living, there is no God but He called, so call upon Him with a sincere devotion to Him alone, saying, praise be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Contemplate this verse which speak of the vastness of Allah's mercy and His immense grace, and highlight the obligation to give thanks to him. They speak of his perfect might and great dominion and the vastness of his sovereignty. They tell us that they created all things and remind us of the perfect nature of his being, the ever living, and of the fact that he is to be praised for all the perfect attributes and that he possesses, for all his beautiful deeds, for his perfect lordship, and for the fact that he is the only Lord. All affairs are controlled by him in both the upper and lower realms, in the past, present, and future. No one has any control of anything or any share of power. From that we learn that Allah is the only one to whom devotion and worship are to be directed, and no one else deserves any share of worship, just as they do not deserve any share of lordship. If one realizes all of the above, his heart will be filled with the knowledge of Allah, love for him, fear of him, and hope in him. These two things, knowing him and worshipping him, are the purpose for which Allah created humankind, and they are the ultimate aim of his slaves. They are what lead to all good deeds, good success, well-being, and happiness in this world and the hereafter. They are the noblest gift that Allah may give to his slaves, and they are the noblest of all pleasures. If one misses out on these two things, he will miss out on all that is good, and everything that is bad and evil will be present with him. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to fill our hearts with knowledge and love of him, and to make all our actions, both outward and onward and outward, sincerely for his sake and in accordance with his commands. For nothing we ask of him is too much for him, and nothing he could give could undermine what he has. It is Allah who has made the night for you to rest in. That is, he has made it for your sake. He has made it dark for you to rest in it from your activities, which, if they were to be continuous, will cause you harm. So you return to your beds. Allah bestows upon you sleep, which give rest to minds and bodies. Sleep is one of the human necessities that man cannot do without. Every love finds comfort in his beloved, and people become focused, and distractions are reduced. And Allah has made the day for you to see by the light of the sun that is running its course. So you got up from your beds and go about your business, both spiritual and worldly, so people may recite dhikr or read Quran, or pay or seek knowledge and study, or engage in trade or work as builders, blacksmiths, and other professions, or travel by land or sea, or go out to till the fields, or to tend the animals. For Allah is most gracious to humankind, as he bestows upon them these blessings and others, and he averts harm from them. This requires them to give complete thanks to him and to remember him, but people do not give thanks because of the ignorance and wrongdoing. But few of my slaves are grateful. There are few who acknowledge the blessings of their Lord, submit to Allah, love him, and use the blessings in obedience to their Lord and in pursuit of his pleasure. Such that is the one who did that. Is Allah your Lord? That is the only divinity and the only Lord, because he is the only one who bestows these blessings, which is part of his being their Lord, and giving thanks to him is required because of his being divine, the creator of all things. This affirming his lordship, there is no God but he. This affirming that he alone is deserving of worship, with no partner or associate. Then he clearly gives the command to worship him alone. So how could you be turned away from the truth? That is, how could you be turned away from worshiping him alone with no partner or associate, after he has made the evidence clear and after he has illuminated the path for you? Thus are turned away from those who deny the signs of Allah. That is, they are as a punishment for their denial of the signs of Allah and the hostility towards his messengers. They were turned away from affirmation of his oneness and sincerity to him alone. It's like the verse in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, wherever a surah is revealed, they look at one another as if to say, is anyone watching? Then they turn away. Allah has turned their heart away, for they are people who do not understand At-Tawbah. It is Allah who has made the earth a stable place to live in. Well, that is, he has made it stable and steady, prepared in such a way that meets your need, so that you are able to activate it, to grow things on it, build on it, travel and set on it, and the heavens and an edifice. That is a roof for the earth on which you dwell. Allah has instilled in it that which you benefit from of light and science, by means of which you navigate on land and sea. And he has shaped you well, for there is nothing among living beings that is better in shape and image than the sons of Adam, as Allah says elsewhere, verily we have created man in the best of conditions. If you want to know how precious the makeup of human being is and the perfect wisdom of Allah is in creating him, then look at him limb by limb and faculty by faculty. Do you find that any of his limbs or faculties will be better located in a place other than where it is? Look at how people start inclined towards one another. Will you find that in any other species? Look at what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given only to humans, such as reason, faith, love, and knowledge, which are the best of institutes and are suited to the best of shapes, and how and has provided you with good things. This includes everything that is good, be it food, drink, spouses, parents, clothes, voices, and other good things that Allah has made available to His slaves, and has granted them the means of attaining them, and He has protected them from the vile things that are in their opposites, which will cause them harm in body and soul, and will be detrimental into their religious commitment. Such that is the one who controls all things and bestows this blessing upon you is Allah your Lord. So blessed be Allah, the Lord of the world. That is, may He be glorified, whose favors are innumerable, the one who showers all creatures with His blessings. He is the ever living, to whom belongs the perfect life, which implies that he has other attributes, to which his being the ever living cannot complete. Which is being the ever living cannot be complete, such as hearing, seeing, might, knowledge, speaking, and attribute of power and majesty. There is no God but He, that is, there is none deserving of worship except Him, so call upon Him. This includes the application of worship and the supplication of asking with sincere devotion to Him alone, that is, seek the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by means of all kinds of acts of worship, supplication, and good deeds. For sincerity is what is enjoyable, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says elsewhere, although they were enjoined only to worship Allah with sincere devotion to Him, being true in faith to Him alone. Praise be to Allah, I am the Lord of the world, that is all praise in words as when people mention His name, and in deeds as when they worship Him, is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, with no partner or associate, because of His perfect attribute and deeds and His perfect blessings. قل إني نهيت أن أعبد الذي يدعون من دون الله لما جاءني البينات من ربه وأمرت أن أسلم رب العالمين هو الذي خلقكم من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم من علقة ثم نخرجكم طفلا ثم لتبلغوا أشدكم ثم لتكونوا شيوخا ومنكم يتوفى من قبل ويتوقع أجل مسمى لكم تأكلون هو الذي يحيي ويميت فإذا قضى أمرا فإنما يقول له كن فيكون. Say, I forbidden to worship those you call upon besides Allah, since they have come to me clear signs from my Lord, and I am commanded to submit to the Lord of the worlds. It is He who created you from dust, then from a drop of semen, then from a clinging cloth. Then He brings you forth as an infant. Then He causes you to grow so that you may reach your age of full strength. Then so that you may become old, although some of you die earlier, and so that you may reach the time appointed for you, and so that you may understand. It is who gives a life and causes death. When He decrees a matter, He merely says to it, be, and it is. Having mentioned the command to devote worship instead to Him alone, Allah mentions the evidence and proof for that, and clearly forbids worship of anything other than Him. Say, O Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, are forbidden to worship of those who call upon besides Allah, of idols and images and everything that is worshipped instead of Allah. I have no doubt about the matter I am following, rather I am certain and know what I am doing. Hence He said, since there have come to me clear signs from my Lord, and I am commanded to submit to the Lord of the worlds, in my heart, verbally, and in my actions, for they will all submit in obedience to Him and in adherence to His commands. This is the most important commandment of all, just as the prohibition on worshipping anything other than Allah is the most important prohibition of all. Then He confirms this affirmation of His oneness by pointing out that He is your Creator, who created you in 8 stages, just as He alone created you, so you should worship Him alone. It is who created you from dust, that was when He created you of source and father, namely Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. Then from a drop of semen, this is the beginning of creation of all humans in their mother's wombs. Mentioning the first stages draws attention to all stages, from the clean cloth to the lump of fluid, the flesh, then the bones, then the breathing in of the soul. Then He brings you forth as infant, then in like a manner you move from one stage to another, as ordained by Allah, until you reach maturity in the mind and the body, and until physical strength be both visible and hidden. Then He causes to grow so that you may reach your age of full strength, then so that you may become old, although some of you die earlier, that is before reaching the full strength, and so that you may reach the time appointed for you, that is so that you may go through these stages that have been set out for you, and complete the lifespan ordained for you, and so that you may understand your situation and realize that the one who causes you to grow to go through this stage has full power, and that is He alone who should be worshipped, and none other, and that you are imperfect in all ways. It is He who gives life and causes death, that is He alone has the power to give life and cause death, so no soul dies with or without reason except by His leave. No man lives alone or has his life cut short, but it is inscribed in a record. For that is easy for Allah. When He decrees a matter, great or small, He merely says to it, be, and it is, and cannot be put back, repeated, or resisted. ألم تر الذين يجادلون في آيات الله أن يصرفون الذين كذبوا بالكتاب وبما أرسلنا به رسولنا فسوف يعلمون إذ الأغلال في أعناقهم وسلاسل يحسبون في الحميم ثم في النار يسجرون ثم قيل لهم أين ما كنتم تشركون من دون الله قالوا ضلوا أن بل لم نكن ندعو من قبل شيئا كذلك يدل الله الكافرين ذلكم بما كنتم تفرحون في الأرض بغير الحق وبما كنتم تمرحون أطوف جهنم خالدين فيها بئس المثوى المتكبرين. Do you not see those who argue against the signs of Allah? How could they be turned away from the truth? They are the ones who rejected the book and the message with which we sent our messengers, but they will come to know the consequences of their deeds. When the iron collars and chains around their necks, they are dragged into the scalding water. Then they will be burned in the fire. Then it will be said, where are those false gods whom you ascribed as partners to Allah, and you worship besides Allah? They will say, they are lost from us. Indeed, what we used to call upon before is nothing. As does Allah have the disbelievers to say, it will be said to them, that is because you used to exalt in falsehood on earth without justification, and you used to behave insolently. Enter the gates of hell to abide there forever, which indeed is the abode of the arrogant. Do you not see those who argue against the signs of Allah, which are so clear? This is an expression of astonishment at their abhorrent attitude. How could they be turned away from the truth? That is, how could they be diverted from it, and what direction will they take? After this clear explanation, do they find a clear proof to contradict or undermine the signs of Allah? No, by Allah, or have they found a specious argument that suits their whims and desires, and use it to support their falsehood? What a bad deal they have chosen for themselves by disbelieving in the book that has come to them from Allah, and in that which Allah has sent His messengers, the best, the most truthful, and most rational of mankind. There will be no requital for such people except the blazing fire. Hence Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warns them of its punishment, as He says, but they will come to know the consequences of their deeds when with iron collars which will prevent them from moving, and chains around their necks with which they are shackled to their devils. They are dragged to the scalding water, that is water that is exceedingly hot, exceedingly hot. Then they will be burned in the fire that will be blazing with great flames, with which they will be burned. Then they will be rebuked for their ascription of partners to Allah and their allies, and it will be said to them, where are those false gods whom you ascribe as partners to Allah, and you worship them besides Allah? Can they help you or ward off some of the punishment from you? They will say, they are lost from us. That is, they have gone away, and they are not here. Even if they were here, they will not help us. Then they will deny them and say, indeed what we used to call upon before is nothing. Aywa. What appears to the case is that what will mean whether is to affirm the versions of gods whom they used to worship, and to affirm that Allah indeed has no partner. Rather, they went astray and did wrong by worshipping that to which is not divine. This is indicated by the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that does Allah leave the disbelievers astray. That is, this is the misguidance that they follow in the previous world, misguidance that is so obvious to everyone that even they themselves will acknowledge its falseness on the day of resurrection. And the meaning of Allah's words, those who call upon their so-called partners beside Allah follow nothing but conjecture, will become clear. Then this is also indicated by the verse in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, on the day of resurrection, they will avoid you having associated them with Allah, and who is more astray than one who calls upon besides Allah, those who will not answer Him until the day of resurrection. It will be said to the people of hell that namely the various punishment to which you are subjected is because you used to exalt in falsehood on earth without justification, and you used to behave insolently. That is, you used to exalt in the falsehood that you are following, and in the knowledge by means of which you sought to contradict the messengers, and you used to behave insolently and arrogantly towards the slaves of Allah, transgressing and doing wrong in disobedience to Allah. This is like the verse at the end of the surah in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, then when their messengers come to them with clear signs, they exalted in what they heard of worldly knowledge, and it is like what the people of Qarun say to him, not exalt, for Allah does not love those who exalt in their riches. This is a blamodic kind of joy that is deserving of punishment, unlike the periodic kind of joy of which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Say in the grace of Allah and in His mercy, in that let them rejoice." That refers to rejoicing in beneficial knowledge and righteous deeds. In the gates of hell, each one will enter one of the levels of hell according to his deeds, to abide then forever and never emerge from it. Wretched indeed is the abode of the arrogant, for it is an abode in which they will be humiliated, detained, and punished, which punishments varying between extreme heat and extreme cold.